Absolutely super goal by Phil Esposito. Never leave him on the doorstep. But Wayne Cashman has to get credit. He fought and fought and fought for that puck, and he got it across to the man he knew could do something with it, and Phil Esposito made no mistake.
Assist number 5, Brad Park, and number 14, Wayne Cashman. The time, 7:14.
Le but du Canada, compté par le numéro 7, Phil Esposito, avec l'aide du numéro 5, Brad Park, et du numéro 14, Wayne Cashman, à 7 minutes 14 secondes.
Canada have drawn first blood in this second game of the series. They lead now 1-0. Phil Esposito from Park and Cashman at 7:14. And they really had to fight hard for that one. Now then, VYACHESLAV cleared over on the right side to Zeman. Frank MAHOVLICH goes back to the goal into the opposite corner. Cleared ahead to Cornoye, who failed to click. Then MAHOVLICH from the corner, went wide there, and the puck goes back to the net. Here's a shot by Stan Mikita, caught easily by Tretriak, and the face-off in the corner. With the score, Canada 1, and the Soviets don't score. This is Game 2 from Toronto.
Here's the leader of the opposition, Mr. Stanfield, with Ontario's Premier, Bill Davis.
From the face-off, the puck goes loose in the Soviet zone. Canada pressing hard while they lead 1-0. Clarke getting it back. It's deflected, and Maltsev got it up to the Canadian line. Now Henderson, a pass to Clarke. Ellis rushing into the corner. Ellis center right in front. Oh, and Tretriak had that one go right up his arm, and it stayed out. Ellis was the real marksman there.
What a difference a goal makes. Look at Ronnie Ellis break in here now. Lots of confidence. He knows he can get that puck. Puts it right out in front. Bobby Clarke in a good position for a rebound that never developed.
From the face-off, here's Ellis getting a shot. And it's close with Henderson rushing in. Tretriak covered up in the goal crease.
Another follow-up here. Now, Team Canada have got the weight off their shoulders. They've scored first, and they've loosened up now, and they are playing super hockey.
Canada playing every man up. The Soviets shoot it out against the boards. They're artists at that, so it doesn't go down the ice. Savard, 23, over onto the left wing to Henderson, across to Clarke. Ellis was waiting, but Clarke fell over and missed his chance. Varlamov tried a clearing pass. It comes out offside, and it's going to be called practically at center ice.
I have to say something about Serge Savard. Savard has been the best addition to the defense tonight. And there's a good look at Starshinov, 32-year-old. He's the veteran of the Soviet team.
From the face-off, the puck slides into the Canadian zone. It's lobbed right out quickly, and Starshinov got a jolt from Clarke. Raglan cleared it over on the side. Well, then a pass is left there. Clarke getting it back on the right side, and they're certainly not sparing the horses the way they're bumping each other. Now in on that side again, a pass right in front. Nikita couldn't get a shot. Here's Clarke's shot, up wide of the net. It bounces high in the air, and a jamming session around the Soviet goal. Ellis and Starshinov shoving a bit, then they come in. Clarke comes in from the behind to cause a regular congestion around the net. Here's a shoving duel, and they're getting a bit obstreperous there, and the two officials are trying to cool them out.
I can tell you one thing about Starshinov. At 32 years old, he's been international hockey for 10 years, and he is just like a Gordie Howe out in the ice. Hit him once during a game, and you'll have to watch out for the rest of the evening.
I was always under the impression that international rules wouldn't allow any rough stuff in a game, Brian, but I don't think I've ever seen an NHL game with more of the old gusto than this one.
Well, as they say, Foster, they've come a long way, baby.
Raglan, number 5, he's quite a campaigner. He's another veteran of the Soviet team. And he's been handing it out and taking it right through. Stan Mikita at center. Here's MAHOVLICH who shot. And it was stopped at the defense there. That was a hard drive by Frank MAHOVLICH, who wound up. And Lyevgen was the one who made the stop. Trepchiak, I doubt, could have seen it. Cornoyer is on the right, MAHOVLICH on the left with Stan Mikita. Yakushev clears back of his own goal. Varadiev played it, but not out. Pat Stapleton keeping it, but it's back to center. Now Stan Mikita over that line to MAHOVLICH, and the shot is wide. Bill White keeps it in the corner. Lyevgen plays it over to Varadiev. Stapleton again keeps it in, and the Canadian team are keeping a power play on them, even though the teams are full strength. Varadiev finally shoots it down the ice. ESPOSITO played it himself. It's cleared out to Mikita, went off his skate, and Varadiev shoots it out to center ice. The Soviets aren't having the same freedom with their passing. MAHOVLICH tested Trepchiak with a long drive. Here's Yakushev coming up over to Zeman, who can't get up in time. Zeman had it, he didn't know it. It hit his skate. Another shot wide of the Canadian goal. Yakushev centering it at the blue line, and here comes the passing play of the Soviets. Bill White broke it up, gets it over to MAHOVLICH, but ESPOSITO going in front of that. Cornoyer fired a shot that was wide. Now Bill White gets a chance. His shot hit the Soviet. Yakushev coming up to Zeman to Yakushev. He's right in, and the drive was wide. And you can tell by the Soviet shooting that they're taking a pounding, and they haven't got the confidence that they were showing in the first game.
You'll see this now. The Canadian team has gotten trapped. They have a 2-on-1, but Whitey Stapleton plays it beautifully. He forces him to shoot that puck wide. Frank MAHOVLICH comes in behind the net, and he traps it. Now Stapleton plays the 2-on-1 just perfectly. He forces Yakushev really to shoot wide, because when he's sprawling like that, it was either in his pads or it had to go off the net. Frank MAHOVLICH tries to trap it behind the net, and it slips under the back.
They've got the Petrov line out there with Mikhailov and Mishakov. Canada have Bergman and Park on the defense. ESPOSITO at center. He seems to be out there a lot. Parise on one wing, Cashman on the other. The puck is up over the line, and Park overskated it. Mishakov comes right back, pass to the right wing. Bergman stopped Petrov without even touching him. He made a run at him. ESPOSITO picking his way out. Cleared it on the left wing. Cashman going into the corner after it. Cashman manhandles Lucheko. Canada still has the puck. ESPOSITO to Cashman. Right in front of the net to ESPOSITO. He shoved around. He got that puck out in front. He's a hard man to take out. Puck comes back to center. Bergman shot it, and Kuzkin broke it up. Petrov coming in on the side. The drive bounced over to the boards, and it shot down the ice. It'll be called.
The Soviets aren't forechecking like they did in Game 1, and consequently, it's giving Team Canada better control.
With the score, Canada 1 and the Soviets no score. This is Game 2 from Toronto. All set for the face-off. Starshinov for the Soviet. Harlamov and Maltsev on this line as the puck is recovered by Canada. Savard on the defense is given a jolt. They carry right on. Ellis and Henderson with Clarke. Puck is bouncing to center and back again to Savard, who fooled Harlamov. Played it to center. Henderson to Clarke. Here's the shot, and he hit the side of the net. On the outside, Maltsev comes tearing back on that far wing, number 10. Starshinov on the other side. A back pass intercepted by Clarke, who read that one. He skates down the right side. Clarke lobbed it into the corner. And it's knocked right back to the blue line, intercepted by Maltsev. as LaPointe tried to clear. Here's Harlamov centering it back to Maltsev, who missed it. And the Soviets aren't keeping in the position they did in the first game. Clarke over the line, cuts back, center. It rolls out in front. LaPointe is forced into the corner by Sigankov, who's a very strong skater, and he holds it in the corner while they jam around.
It's interesting against the Soviet tonight. What Team Canada are doing tonight that they didn't do in Game 1 is they are breaking up the unit, the system, and they're playing them better on a one-to-one situation, and our players can handle the Soviets better on a one-to-one situation than they can as a unit.
Canada won. Soviet no score. Mahovlich. Frank Mahovlich failed to get that shot. It took the center ice. Zeman coming up with Yakushev on the left. 15 into the corner. Back of the net. The Soviet player fell. Goes to the blue line. Vladiev clearing into the corner. They're coming with Zeman from the side. Right in front of the net. A shot went wide as they had a good chance there with Vladiev in position, along with Lyapkin. There's a Yakushev bumped into a player and went down. It was Kornoye. Mahovlich couldn't get the pass and bounced over his stick. Zeman, number 11 for the Soviet. Nikita got a piece of him, but he kept on going. Then over to Yakushev. Here's a shot wide. Bounces off the boards. That's stapled into Mahovlich. Here's a breakaway for Kornoye. Ready to go! Oh, he missed on that breakaway, but was called offside anyway. But Kornoye had a great chance as he went in there.
Watch Kornoye walk in here. Now he pulls him to his outside, but Tretiak has that far side covered and deflects it into the corner. Also very alertly plays the rebound coming off the boards. But Frank Mahovlich saw Kornoye breaking, and he just had to get that puck up to him.
5 minutes and 57 seconds left in the second period. Canada won. Soviet no score. Pat Stapleton going back. Bill White is on the defense with him. 17 carrying the puck. Chased on the play by Mikhailov. Mishakov lost it to Bill White, who shoots it around back of the goal. Parisi jammed against the boards by Kuzkin. They mix it up. Here Canada getting a chance, and a shot by Esposito went wide. White keeps it in there. Cashman goes in to help Esposito, but they missed on their passing. The Soviets bring it out with Lachenko making a long pass into the Canadian zone, and a shot out to center to Kuzkin, who lost it to Esposito. Phil Esposito played it over on the wing to Stapleton. Stapleton tried to center and went high and went to the opposite corner where Phil Esposito checks his man. Mishakov gets a jolt there as it's passed right in front of the net on that robust play by Cashman. Up to center ice for Mikhailov, and he was knocked for a loop on that one, but there's going to be a penalty on the play for tripping. And they didn't spare the horses on that check, and Bergman is going to get the tripping penalty.
Bergman was beaten here, as you can see, and he gets the stick out, and Mikhailov takes the dive for an easy 2-minute penalty to Gary Bergman.
Canada penalty to number 2, Gary Bergman. 2 minutes for tripping. The time 15:16.
La pénalité du Canada.
There's a look at an interested Timmy Horton sitting there, and I'm sure he's... And there's his wife, Laurie.
Getting ready now for the face-off. Bergman is off. Canada having their third penalty of the game. The Soviets have had 2. Canada leading 1-0, and it's very close, and it's really thrilling hockey all the way. Maltsev is out there with Starshinov at center. Harlamov is on the left wing. Lachenko is one of the defense players with Sigankov.
I think the key factor in the game for Team Canada has been the defense.
From the face-off, it's cleared into Maltsev in the corner. Clarke out there with Peter Mahovlich to kill off the penalty, shoots it down the ice. And immediately Clarke was replaced by Frank MAHOVLICH. So the two MAHOVLICHs are out there. Harlamov goes down there, and he was checked at the defense. With Sigankov, number 7 for the Soviet, cutting in front of his goal. Passed on the right wing to Maltsev. Maltsev at center, over the blue line. STARSHINOV waiting for a pass. It was a weak one. Peter MAHOVLICH recovered. Gets it over to Frank MAHOVLICH. One man back. Frank MAHOVLICH going in, he shoots. And Petriak made a great save, a toe save on that one. Cleared pass to STARSHINOV, who couldn't control the puck. And it slides to the Canadian defense. Shot down the ice with Sigankov to Harlamov. He's a marked man tonight. He hasn't had the freedom he had in the first game. Lechenko ahead to Maltsev, 10. He played it back. It's a weak pass. And the Soviets aren't nearly as pass perfect as they were in the first game. And there's a reason. Sigankov coming in with Maltsev. Maltsev playing it back to Lechenko. Intercepted by MAHOVLICH, and Lechenko had to go back for it. 3:12 left in the period. They're changing on the goal. Canada's still a man short. Here's Maltsev clearing over to Yakushev. Yakushev made a bad pass. Peter MAHOVLICH took it out to center ice. Still has it. Took it away from Shadron. Still goes. Bumped into Paladiev and lost the puck. Now back come the Soviets to center ice. Yakushev over that on that far wing. Zeman back to the blue line to Paladiev. They're closing in, looking for a pass back to the blue line. Over in the corner. Lapointe trying to watch his man with Park, and a bad pass goes out to center ice. Paladiev having to go back for it. Paladiev rolled it over the line. It's brought out again by Lapointe. Over on the right side to Ellis. A deflection right on. Henderson missed on the rebound. Puck goes to the corner. They shoot it around back to the goal. Paladiev takes a look. Teams are at full strength as the Soviet clear it into the Canadian zone. Canada played safely with Lapointe. Passing on the left wing. A long pass is intercepted by Henderson's pass, and Ellis got back to break it up to Henderson, and it was offside. And it's called back to the blue line. With the score, Canada won, and the Soviets no score. This is game 2 from Toronto. All ready for the face-off at the blue line, and the puck is shot into the Canadian zone. Teams are at full strength. Cashman trying to get that puck out. He's mixing it up with Lechenko. It's recovered by Mihailov. A shot right on. ESPOSITO stopped it. Stapleton cleared off the boards out to center ice. Lechenko cleared it in, and it's recovered by Stapleton, with ESPOSITO working over on that left side with Parisi and Cashman. Cashman got his stick on it. Lechenko sticks with him, took it from him, shot it over onto the left boards, out to center ice. Bill White playing it back into the Soviet zone. Lechenko giving it to Petrov, and then helped by Mihailov. Mihailov, 1 minute left in the period. Mihailov over the line, taken right up by White. MISHAKOV tried to follow through on the blocking, but didn't get through. Parisi is in the corner, fighting for that puck to hold it. It's still loose. They're all digging at it, and it finally stopped. And there's a near mix-up there as they fought for that puck. And Parisi is very upset.
Parisi is very rugged along the boards, and you see him try to fight to get this puck killed so his players won't get any trouble. He's fallen down here, and there's a lot of pushing and shoving. I think the referee should have called this a lot sooner than he did, and that probably wouldn't have developed. Jean-Paul Parisi from the Minnesota North Stars. A good insertion in this lineup because he's been very rugged along with Wayne Cashman along the boards, and here's some of it right here. Notice the good position Whitey Stapleton has here. Keeps on his feet, protecting the puck.
Just as they were ready to face off, the Canadian team sent out a replacement. They haven't decided just who it'll be. Peter MAHOVLICH stepped out. 40 seconds left in the second period. 1-0 for Canada. And you'll never see a harder fought battle in years, I doubt. STARSHINOV is now at center. The puck goes into the corner to Maltsev, back to the blue line, but these Soviet passes are going astray, chiefly due to the hard hitting of the Canadian team. Henderson, Ellis, and Clarke attack. Clarke gets that puck, cleared it back into Clarke, right in front of Ellis, a shot! And Kurchak stopped that, and the bounce right across the goal mouth. Zigankov is chased into the corner, stopped by Clarke, they fall. Ellis goes in to help. Ellis is jammed on the boards. STARSHINOV goes to the side, and there's a minute. Harlamov ran into the referee, and he'll likely get a misconduct. Harlamov in his anger raced at the referee, and we'll wait now.
You can see here he's pinned along the boards. Now he comes back, and he gets a penalty here. And he is very upset about it. And he might just have talked himself right out of the game with that little push against the referee. Big defenseman Zigankov going off. But Harlamov, in going over to protest, could well have got himself removed from this hockey game. And the Soviets cannot afford to lose a player like him at this stage. Foster, so far the thing that's impressed me about
Gennady Zigankov. 2 minutes for slashing and a 10-minute misconduct. The time, 19:54.
La pénalité.
The thing that's impressed me about Team Canada right now is it's not the same team as we saw in Game 1. The defense is so much more solid that Team Canada is not getting into the trouble in their own end that they were. The Soviets are playing them more in a one-to-one situation, and when you isolate them one-to-one,
there's Harlamov, 17 in there. He got the misconduct. And Zigankov got the slashing penalty. It was a foolish move by Harlamov. And then Bobrov, the coach, is getting into the act and having his say, even though it's in Russian. He apparently made his point. But Zigankov, number 7, and Harlamov was the one who shoved the referee. Now they're lining up with the Soviet a man short. Nikita got the draw, as he generally does, to Park at the blue line. There's their shot! Kurchak stopped that one. It bounced in the air. Nikita was jamming in back of the net, and that's quite a skirmish at the end of the second period. With the score, Canada 1, and the Soviets no score. This is Game 2 from Toronto. Another player that impresses is that Zigankov. He certainly is a rugged customer while he's in the penalty box, or will be for the start of this third period. He's played a very aggressive game. He's going over in the penalty box now, along with the Harlamov. Harlamov is 17, and he'll be in that box longer than anybody else. From the face-off, the puck is cleared into the Canadian zone. Soviets are a man short. Up over the line at center. 2 10-minute periods in this third period.
I think the big thing in this third period for Team Canada is for them to enforce upon the Soviets that Team Canada plays their game. So far in this game, Canada has played the game the way they've wanted to. And if they can persist here in the third period, I think we'll skate away a winner tonight.
ESPOSITO at center, facing MISHAKOV, who seems to be out there on all penalties. STARSHINOV as well. Lapointe goes in back to the Canadian goal. Bernier is going down the right wing at center. Over the line, one man back. He left the puck there. No one was there. And it's knocked back to the blue line with Lapointe clearing over from the side. Park failed to get out. recovered the puck when he bumped into STARSHINOV, number 8. Park goes back to the net. Skating over onto the left side, made a rink-wide pass. Esposito going down there, really working his heart out tonight. Esposito center right in front, and MAHOVLICH couldn't get it. There's a check there when MISHAKOV lost his stick, and he tried to bull his way right out from the Soviet zone.
It was interesting, the second that MISHAKOV, number 12 there, lost his stick, up came the feet to try to control the puck, and he kicked it out, and that's what brought about the offside.
Most of them appear to be pretty good soccer players, the way they can handle that puck with their skates. STARSHINOV and Esposito facing off. He kicked it to the blue line, and it's shot down the ice by Lachenko. Park goes in back to the Canadian goal. 40 seconds left in the penalty. Up the center ice. Park over the right side. Bergman coming right in. He shoots. Score! Bergman from Park.
Absolutely beautiful play. Brad Park saw Yvan Cournoyer breaking on the right wing, and you'll see Cournoyer turn the jets on. Now look at the pass, rink wide, and Cournoyer is gone, and he breaks in, good position, and he fires a good hard shot to that opening in Tretiak's legs, and it goes into the back of the net. Brad Park again, a beautiful pass on Cournoyer's stick, who is busting full speed now, and he was around Dragulin before he had a chance to make any turn at all.
Assist number 5, Brad Park. The time 1:19.
1:19. Cournoyer from Park. A tremendous goal. Canada 2. Soviet no score. And it was a typical Cournoyer effort, and he's poisoned when he goes in there fast. Puck is back in the Soviet goal. Clarke is waiting for a pass. Here's a shot as the Canadian team take heart on that extra goal. They're forcing the play, the jamming session around Tretiak, but they called the play.
We just saw Bobby Clarke try to do something that he probably does better than anybody in the National Hockey League. From behind that net, he can score a lot of goals. I remember last year here in Toronto, he scored 2 goals against Bernie Perron, both of them from behind the net, and no one could believe it at that time.
Peter MAHOVLICH at center. Soviets are full strength. Up the center ice. Zeman had it go off the edge of a stick. The puck is back to the blue line. Here's a long shot. Went off a leg. It's cleared back behind the goal by Greasy. Into the corner. The Soviets lost it to Bill White. Passing on the left side. The Soviets get it again in front of it. Zeman shoots. Another great save by Tony Esposito. Canada trying to keep that puck out of their own zone. Finally get it out. Bill White playing it over on the far side. And Cashman shot it back to the net. Reese trying to cover his man. It's recovered by Shadron at center. Over to Zeman. 11. Back to VYACHESLAV. A shot. And it's stopped. Again, without too much trouble by Tony Esposito. Canada clear the puck out. There's Reese hauled down on the play by Shadron, 19. Cashman carries it in back to the Soviet goal. Now a shot wide of the goal by Bill White. Another shot by Stapleton is stopped by defense player Lyapkin. Soviet kept the center. Again, Stapleton picks it up. Playing at center ice. 6:53 remaining in the first half of the 2:10 minutes of the third period. MISHAKOV got a ride there from Ellis. He skated him off. Made the pass at center ice. Over the line. Kuskin slowed him down. Recovered the puck. Played it on the left wing. Going down there for Mihailov. Cleared in front of shot. Another save. Scrambling right in front of the goal. Ellis was down in front with Bergman. And Esposito was able to cover up.
Mihailov comes down here with good control. He cuts across now. The Soviets have a good play. Look at the concentration. Look at how Tony Esposito comes out and covers it up. But the important thing tonight, Foster, is that Canada's defense is right there to help them out. Gary Bergman, Ronnie Ellis standing right on the doorstep. Ellis takes out Mihailov so he doesn't get the shot. Esposito smothers the puck.
And that's Mihailov there, number 13, and he was boring in on Esposito.
The checking tonight by Team Canada's forwards has been excellent.
Petrov going to face off. MAHOVLICH speaks to Stan Mikita with the red helmet. MISHAKOV is standing on the rim of the circle with Mihailov. There's a shot by Kuskin, easily handled by Esposito. Shot down the ice by MAHOVLICH. Lachenko lets it go over the line, and it's called for icing, and the face-off will be to the left of the Canadian goalkeeper, Tony Esposito.
There's a good look at Harry Sinden, and he has to be a little more relaxed than he was this time in Game 1.
From the face-off, the puck slides back to Bergman. Bergman starting back, shot it out to center off a body, and Kuskin, number 4, goes round back of the Soviet goal. Stopped by Mikita on his pass. Lachenko knocked it out. Frank MAHOVLICH, 27, cuts all the way back into his own zone, rounds his own defense, played it out off the boards. Kuskin has it, passed to Mihailov, who lost it. Mihailov gets it again, number 13. Not a bit superstitious. Takes a pass again, and is dumped by Bergman, who moved in right underneath him. Frank MAHOVLICH lobbed it to Mikita. Mikita tried to go through, and they're hitting each other hard again. Long pass on the right side as Canada start changing, as well as Soviet on the go. MISHAKOV got it to STARSHINOV. STARSHINOV back to the goal, trying to center it out. There's going to be a penalty call on the play. The Canadian player, Bergman, was down. Mihailov was on top of him. The referee has his hand up, and it's going to be a Canadian penalty as the Soviet goalkeeper has left the ice for an extra forward. Zeman. They still have the puck. They have 6 attackers, stopped by Cashman, and this will be the penalty. With the score, Canada 2 and the Soviets no score. This is Game 2 from Toronto. Clarke is getting the penalty for Canada.
Team Canada penalty to number 28, Bobby Clarke. 2 minutes for slashing. The time, 5:13.
5:13.
Bobby Clarke, 2 minutes pour le cinglé à 5 minutes 13 secondes.
That evens the penalties at 4 each in the game. Now then, the Soviets will have the power attack, and YEVGENY was knocked over by Peter MAHOVLICH, who has been throwing his weight around very efficiently. Puck slides right back to Paladiev, intercepted again by Ellis, who's out there with Peter MAHOVLICH. Ellis 6, Peter MAHOVLICH 20, Bergman and Park the defense. Canada leading 2-0. There's a breakaway up the center. Zeman gets away from a shot. Oh, and he was hurried by Park and failed to get it. Rakuzhev scores! Yakushev was standing in front and was able to beat.
This is a good example of why you should always follow the play up. Zeman has a clear-cut breakaway. He shoots wide. Now watch Yakushev park himself in front of the net. Lapierre gets the puck right to Yakushev, sweeps it to the far side. Tony Esposito had no chance. Again, we see it here from another angle. He shoots wide. He's going for that top corner. Now look where Yakushev parks himself and sweeps it for the far corner. No goalie would have had a chance.
And number 11, Yevgeny Zeman. The time, 5:53.
5:53, the time of the goal. Play is underway, up to center ice. Mihailov trying to going in on goal, right in. And Esposito was able to stop him, and there's going to be a hooking penalty called against Canada. So the Canadian team will be a man short again. Harlamov is still in the penalty box, serving his 10-minute misconduct penalty. And
he's joined by Stapleton in there. And this could be very critical right now. We can see where the penalty comes up. Stapleton has to hook him to stop him from breaking in. Tony Esposito all alone. Big Alexander Yakushev, 6'1", big left winger, playing tonight at center ice.
Stapleton off for hooking at 6:14. The score is 2-1 for Canada, and the Soviet threatening to tie it up. Yakushev was the one who finally broke through by being overly persistent with the help of Liapin and Zeman. Now Shedrin. There's Pat Stapleton, number 3, sitting in the penalty box. The point is on the defense. Peter Mahovlic remains out there. There's a pass back to Liapkin over on the far side. That crisscross passing play. They failed to click on that one. Now Shadron getting it back to Liapkin. Over on the far side, right in front of the goal, went wide of the net. Zeman knocked it back to the goal. It rolls off to the side. They failed to clear it out. The point failed to get it away. Then Esposito cleared out. It's a race down with Peter Mahovlic going in on goal. Right in! He scores! Peter Mahovlic.
What an effort by Peter Mahovlic. What can you say? That Russian is still wondering where the puck is. Peter Mahovlic made an absolutely beautiful move. He has picked up the puck inside his red line. Now look at him isolate Polidyev. He gets him to put his legs together, isolates him, and then walks right around him. And what a move he made on Tretiak. Tretiak was completely fooled. Look at the move. He holds him with the big slap shot, walks around with the big reach. Now look at the move here. And holds it and jams it in the behind.
Peter Mahovlic beat Vladiev and then the goalkeeper, Tretiak, to get a sensational goal, to get that 2-goal lead back for Canada. And it was scored with Canada a man short. Stapleton in the penalty box. Peter Mahovlic. And it's 3-1 for Canada. A clearing pass at center ice. Lichenko over the line. Mihailov cut in and couldn't get any farther. Canada shoot it down the ice. 2:54 left in the first half of the third period. It is divided into 2 10-minute sessions. Cleared pass into the corner. Mishakov trying to dig it out. He was pinned there. Mihailov couldn't help. And so the face-off will be to the left.
Foster, absolutely beautiful goal. Came at a very appropriate time. When you're shorthanded, the Soviets had a good chance there to even it up. And with Peter Mahovlic scoring there, completely nullifies it. That has to psychologically hurt the Soviets an awful lot at this stage of the game.
Phil Esposito was given an assist on Peter Mahovlic's goal. Stapleton off at the time and still off. Petrov got the draw. Kuskin lobbed it over to Mihailov. It's back to Kuskin as they try to put the pressure on. The puck goes into the corner. Park lobbed it on the boards. Clarke knocked it back in the corner. Park shoots it around on the boards. Ellis pinned by Kuskin. It comes out to center with Clarke fighting his way. And Park couldn't get it. Now a 3-man Soviet rush down the left side by Mihailov. He faked the pass. It was knocked down. Petrov gets it again, takes a shot, and it goes to the far corner. Bergman took his man out. Kuskin comes in with a pass that failed to click. It hit a skate. Park is grabbed as he tried to get away. He's knocked over. Here's a pass in front. Mihailov fanned on it with Bergman falling in front. Bergman failed to get it away. Here's Stapleton back on the ice. He broke up the rush. Stapleton has completed his penalty and carried the puck into the Soviet zone. Bernoyer turns at center. He scored the second goal for Canada. Canada leading 3-1 with 1:25. He looked in his puck in front of the net. And Stan Mikita had a chance of a lifetime. when Kornoye had centered it out for him. Puck is near the Soviet goal. Kuskin playing it over on the far side. And it's broken up by Mikita. Anderson was stopped. He's the rookie out there for the first time. The right foot for Mahovlich. He scores! Mahovlich. Frank Mahovlich has scored a fourth goal.
And both the Mahovlich brothers are dangerous tonight. And watch how he looks for a man out in front. Frank Mahovlich will walk right into the spot. And he drills one for the far corner, and it just catches the post. As the play develops here, they don't get it out. Mikita now has deflected it into the corner. Now he's looking all the time. He misses it, comes back in his skate. Now he's got Mahovlich set up perfectly. And Frank bangs it. It hits the far post and is in behind Tretiak. Here we see it again from another angle.
Frank Mahovlich from Mikita. Puck is cleared into the Soviet zone.
Goal scored by number 27, Frank Mahovlich. Assist number 21,
couldn't get anywhere. Here's the Malchin coming in, and a good save there by Esposito. Kornoye also got an assist with Mikita on Frank Mahovlich's goal.
There's Cashman getting a little chippy, and at this stage, Foster, there's really no need for it. Play the game straight away. You've got 10 minutes. The Soviets aren't going to hurt you as long as you've got 6 men on the ice.
Frank Mahovlich scored that fourth goal from Mikita and Kornoye at 8:59, giving Canada a 4-1 lead. From the face-off, Stapleton goes in back of the net, and this game is different as night and day from the first game in Montreal. Bill White clears that puck to center ice. They carry on. Parise was upset, but he carries right on into the corner. Parise is bumped by Ragulin, then by Starshinov, and the pass from back of the net by Cashman goes right down to Tony Esposito, who shoots it up the ice. Now Esposito going in. Phil Esposito was offside as Sagankov was after him, and it's brought back for icing.
There's the assistant coach of Team Canada, John Ferguson. And he's sitting there looking like things are a little better. If only this were game one.
They're changing players. They've got 1 second before they change ends for the final 10 minutes of this third period.
There's a couple of the non-dressing Russian players.
With the score, Canada 4 and the Soviets 1. This game 2 from Toronto. The clock is at 10 minutes, meaning 10 minutes left in the game. This is the second half, and the teams have changed ends. On the face-off, play is underway with the puck loose at center ice. Yakushev getting it across to Shadrin, intercepted by Kornoye, who couldn't get loose at center. Then Mahovlich, Frank Mahovlich knocked it into the Soviet zone, brought out by Lyapkin, who shot it over on this wing, intercepted by Stapleton, rushing up on the attack. Kornoye had his shot, the defenseman blocked it, and Yakushev comes racing back with Shadrin. Yakushev 15, and Kornoye, who's rapidly rounding into shape, starts speeding away again at the blue line at center ice. Here's his shot, and it was a sizzler stopped by Tretiak. And Kornoye has really uncorked many good moves in this game tonight.
Kornoye had a great chance there because one of the Soviet players was tied up with Bill White down in Canada's end. And there's Bobrov right now, the head Soviet coach, and he has to be a little concerned with only 9 minutes going, trailing by 3 goals.
Ready for the face-off, 4-1 for Canada. Park, number 5, clears it into the Soviet zone. Luchenko back of the net. Number 3, weaving out to center. Mihailov carries in the pass. His shot is deflected to the corner. Mihailov failed to center it. Esposito moves up at center with Cashman way over in the left. goes over the line. Mishakov had that puck taken from him, but then Cashman goes into the corner, stopped by Kuzkin, and it comes to center ice. Park, number 5 for Canada, over to Bergman. Bergman cleared on the left side. Here's a shot by Risi. The puck bounces off the boards. Luchenko gets to center ice to Mishakov, number 12. It rolls near the Canadian goal, and Park stands back of the net, being watched by Mihailov. Now another try as they move out of position. Risi gets it to Bergman, out to center ice. Kuzkin drags it, gets it handed back to him. Esposito's after him. It's ahead to Petrov. It's against the boards. Ed Bergman is in there bouncing everything in every way possible. 7:51 left in the game.
Foster, as a general rule in hockey, the team that forechecks the best generally wins the game. Team Canada is forechecking very heavily in the Soviet end, and for some reason, the Soviets are not even sending one man in on many occasions in Canada's end. They are allowing Canada to set up and come out of their end with good puck control, which is going to give them good scoring opportunities.
The Soviets looked a bit frustrated there as they skated off the ice, Kuzkin and Petrov. Now the puck goes bouncing out to the Soviet line. Henderson had a chance, but he couldn't recover the puck as they go into the corner with Raglan covering him. Now Harlamov is on the ice after his misconduct penalty, and Clarke skated him off and stole the puck right off his stick. Luchenko cleared ahead to Harlamov, who had a 10-minute misconduct penalty. He's trying to get going. His pass is intercepted by Henderson, but checked just as quickly. Maltsev, number 10, in on the Canadian zone, stopped, then cleared to an open wing. It's Raglan bumping into Park. Canada recovers. It hit Clarke's skate. He made sure as he played it out to Henderson, but it went off his stick. Soviets trying it back again on that right wing, carrying it over the line. Here's Harlamov going in with a shot, and it's covered beautifully by Tony Esposito. Canada clear the puck out at center. Sagankov goes back for number 7 for the Soviet. Sagankov at center, one of their top defense players. A beautiful shot. Another save by Esposito. And Sagankov ended up in the corner. Nikita over to Mahovlich. Frank Mahovlich into the corner. Back of the net. Oh, and Ellis missed the pass as well as Nikita. Back comes Shadron. Seaman checked in the corner. And this Canadian team really fighting it out there, checking like fiends. A pass is knocked down, and also Yakushev while he tried to get it. And it certainly appears that Canada is too strong for this Soviet team tonight. They lead 4-1, and they're really battling. Here's Kornoye showing great bursts of speed. Went racing up there, but couldn't get up there in time because he collided. Now Kornoye coming up again. Kornoye took a shot, and it nearly caught the inside of that post. Just went on the outside. Pat Stapleton knocked it over. And there's nothing wrong with the condition of this Canadian team, the way they're battling it out. Seaman from the corner. Passed on the left side. Liapkin ahead at center ice. Seaman up over the line. A drop pass without looking. He has it handed back to him. A long drive goes into the corner. Risi is covering his man. Cashman goes in to help. Esposito breaks out with one man back. Liapkin going in. A shot. And the drive was wide. Bill White was bounced on the boards. Risi goes back into the Canadian zone to Cashman, who lost it. Seaman clears back. Here's a shot. Stopped by Stapleton. Seaman goes into the corner. Back to Paladiev. Shooting it around back of the net. Seaman missing it. Into the far corner. They jam against the boards. Cashman couldn't cover. It's to one side of the net. They're trying to get in position. Yakushev couldn't get a shot. Now it's right to Zeman, back to the blue line, then into the corner again. Still playing tic-tac-toe with that puck. It's going loose again to Canada. Esposito, number 7, pulling away from Shadron. Carrying on, going in on the right side. And his drive was stopped. Yacheslav in front of his own net, but Esposito right on top of him. A cleared pass on a change of players. MAHOVLICH coming up over the line, number 13. Stopped at the defense. The puck is loose. Grabbed off by Petrov. It goes wide. Pushkin centered in front. And again, Esposito made a toe save on that one. And there's a fair bite in that Soviet attack yet. Pushkin goes all the way back to get it. 3:44 left in the game. 4-1 for Canada. Pushkin on the attack, and the Soviets are throwing everything in a last desperate drive. They try to keep the puck in there. Bergman shot it. It's knocked out to center ice by Henderson to Ellis. Ellis over the line. Tried to finesse his way through with Clarke. Now Henderson shoots. And Petriak made a magnificent save with his glove over his head. With the score, Canada 4 and the Soviets 1. This is game 2 from Toronto. Clarke is going to take the face-off for Canada as Canada play every man up in the Soviet zone. Park had a shot knocked down. It's tapped out to center ice. A rink-wide pass to Harlamov, who hasn't been very prominent in this game tonight. Bergman cleared it up at center ice, and then Ragulin took a going over from Ellis, and STARSHINOV, number 8, gets it back to the reliable Sigankov. At center ice, Sigankov goes down on the right wing. He tried to pull his way by Bergman, but failed. Bergman recovers the puck, shot it on the boards. Ellis tapped it out. STARSHINOV goes back to get it. 2:34 left in the game. 4-1 for Canada. Maltsev comes in, number 10, but he didn't get his shot. And then Nikita knocked STARSHINOV over as STARSHINOV seemed to go in with a high stick.
Team Canada has been a better team tonight in every department. And actually, Foster, with 2.5 minutes left in the game, it looks like the Soviets are the team that's tiring tonight. So the conditioning has been neutralized. Team Canada has the legs tonight that they apparently didn't have in game 1.
Yes, they were talking all the time in that first game about lack of condition. That was a misnomer because the Canadian team have the foot right now, and it's been their heavy checking that has taken the toll on the Soviets. Puck is cleared around back of the Soviet goal. Yapkin shot it to the corner. Frank MAHOVLICH broke it up, and then it goes loose. Canada recovers. Nikita to Cournoyer. It's back in front to MAHOVLICH. Cournoyer tried another one, and Zeman cleared it out. Gets a return pass, goes to center ice, goes across the line, a drop pass, and Cournoyer just backhanded it down the ice. One of those back flips. Yacheslav on the move. 1:47 left in the game. The puck rolls to center ice. Recovered by Savard, who's out there with Lapointe. They drive it into the corner. Peter MAHOVLICH centered it to Frank MAHOVLICH. Cournoyer knocked it wide. It's back with the goal. Yacheslav made a long forward pass. Zeman trying to come out with Yacheslav passing aimlessly at center. Lapointe returns for Canada with a backhand, and the Canadian team are just hemming them in. 1:14 left in the game. 4-1 for Canada. And it would appear that the series is going to be even. Into the corner. Savard passes on the right side. Cashman. Now 1 minute left in the game. And it's banged down the ice by Parisi. Petriak came out of the net to shoot it out. Cashman knocked it across the line. And the Soviets tried to come back. Mishakov tried to go in on the defense. It was blocked by Lapointe, who's out there with Savard. Canada dragged that puck. Cashman getting it back to Savard, who's taken in. Esposito helped him out, lobbed it to center ice. Parisi failed to get the loose puck, but Esposito drags it, gives it to Parisi, who was away offside with 20 seconds remaining.
so far tonight, it's been puck control. Puck control by Team Canada has been all important. And I bet you if they put a clock on the amount of time that Team Canada's had the puck tonight, it would probably be close to 40 or 45 minutes. They've controlled the game from start to finish. And what a series we're going to have, Foster. 6 more games like this.
It's certainly great to think of it. Right from the drop of the hat, Clarke gets it to Henderson, who's getting in. He couldn't get his backhand. Petrov tried to shoot it to Mihailov. Back to Petrov as they keep on moving. 8 seconds left in the game. The horns are starting to blow. Lechenko coming down with a cleared pass, and the game is over. And Canada has evened the series 4-1. And that Tony Esposito is being mobbed by his teammates. They all deserve tremendous credit on the performance they put on tonight. What a comeback after being completely outplayed in the first game. An entirely different story now for the series, and the two teams are shaking hands, both lining up and going down the line, showing an excellent spirit right through. With the final score, Canada 4 and the Soviets 1. This is Game 2 from Toronto.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the outstanding
Players of tonight's game as chosen by a panel of press, radio, and television personalities.
Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, voici les joueurs par excellence pour le match de ce soir, tel que choisi par un groupe de commentateurs de la radio et de la télévision. First for the Soviet team, pour l'équipe nationale soviétique, Vladislav Plitiak. For Team Canada, pour l'équipe Canada, Tony et Phil Esposito.
Just wait right here. I want to just talk to him briefly. Sorry. Vladislav, congratulations. You were sensational in Montreal on Saturday night, and you were even greater tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. The Canadians think you're wonderful. Thank you very much. There you are. Now, the panel of Jim Coleman, Milt Donald, Bill Stevenson, Gilles Theroux, and Red Fisher, the chairman, couldn't decide who among you was the outstanding player of the game tonight. So we're going to have a special memento ring for each of you as a reminder of the outstanding night you've had in this great series. To Phil and Tony, congratulations to you. Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
I don't know where you reached down for it, but it seemed to me that this was the most emotional experience the fans have ever had. You must have gone on emotion tonight, both of you yourselves.
Well, this is bigger than winning the Stanley Cup as far as I'm concerned tonight. This was as excited as I've ever been in my life. I was excited on Saturday night in Montreal, but this one even topped it.
Tony, how about you? What did you see? What did you see out there that you really didn't see last Saturday night?
I just thought that our team really played well and came back to pick up the loose men. This was a difference. They cleared the rebounds for me, and I was very pleased with our performance. I thought our team really worked and deserved the win.
It was sensational. Thank you very much. Congratulations to you, and good luck along the rest of the way. Thank you very much. And now let's go back into Bill Good.
And with the final score, Canada 4 and the Soviets 1. This is Game 2 from Toronto.
I remember it was so hot in the garden. There was no air conditioning in the garden. I don't think they have air conditioning now, but 90, 95 degrees, and it was very, very difficult. But everybody worked real hard. We had a problem. Our major problem was everybody was telling us that we were going to beat them in 8 games. We worked hard, but we would have worked harder knowing that we could be beat. In hockey, you have to be scared of losing.
I think the second game in Toronto and the practice the day before,
this lark-like attitude disappeared, and the intensity level was really high in that practice in Maple Leaf Gardens. And we actually, some of us sort of played like in the inner squad or the practice that we had. Some of us sort of tried to imitate the Russian style of play, you know, with the sticks and, you know, the spearing and all of that, so that the guys would be ready for that tactic. And I think the second game in Toronto, I think Harry Sinden, maybe one of the best coaching jobs ever in hockey, for Canada to lose that first game in Montreal so badly and to come back and win that game in Toronto. I thought that was unbelievable what Harry Sinden did.
The Toronto game was a tremendous effort. I mean, it was by the team. It was pick yourself up the floor. I mean, we have to carry out what we decided would be the best chance to win the game. We didn't deviate from it. I didn't mean to say that we were dominant in the game, but we were at least in as much control for as many minutes as they were. And we ended up getting a big break when Peter MAHOVLICH scored a shorthanded goal. I mean, a break. It was a great play by a it exemplified and illustrated the will of a North American player to do something individually, to pick his team up. It was a great goal. But that game and the first game in Moscow, which we lost, I think were the two best games the team played.
I think the determining factor of why we won is not because of the characters on our team, but because of the character we had on the team. And that was the thing. We had a lot of players that, as individuals, were willing to sacrifice in games to win hockey games. And sacrifice not for the system, but for their teammates. And that's what we were willing to do.
You know, you're scared as hell, obviously. You've been embarrassed, and now you know the opposition is really, really good. And I think the great thing about a National Hockey League player is that he can make adjustments, and he can be coached to play the game differently and make the adjustments that are necessary for him to be able to compete. And I think the real reason we ended up winning the series and ended up getting back into it in Canada was because of Sinden and the coaching staff. They made the changes in our lineup, and they made the changes in our game plan that at least gave us a chance to compete at that level till we got our conditioning and got our whole group together properly.
We could come back. We could compete against them. We felt our skill level was just as good, but we knew we had some things to our advantage. We knew the Canadians have emotion, part of their game, that they can bring out, and the Russians didn't seem to have that. They played like a machine. There was no emotion ever showed, and we felt if we could get on one of those emotional rollers that happens to teams in the playoffs in Canada, with guys that all been part of and involved in it, that would be a big benefit for us. But the first thing we had to concentrate on was our conditioning.
Sport is a wonderful game if you win, and it is. I mean, it's terrible when you don't win, and it's even worse when you're expected to win and expected to do well and you're not doing well. That adds to the frustration and everything. And thank goodness we had an Italian guy with sweat running down his face, and then just, Phil puts it on the line and he's poured out his heart, and boy, that woke Canadians up big time.
Toronto was fine because we won. But after that first period, people were booing the heck out of us. If it wasn't for Tony in that first period in Toronto, we would have been blown out. But we won that game. And then it went to Winnipeg. And we weren't in condition. I don't care what everybody says. We weren't in good shape. We weren't. And there's no doubt, even though I thought the last 4 or 5 days we tried really hard to work to get into it. I remember Ferguson, just because I was on Fergie's team, and he was just like, "Come on, you big stiff, let's go." And then he would come to me after, going, way to work. And that made me feel good because I never worked that hard in my life.